Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the volunteer. Grant and Ellie are on EcoSlow staff. I was on the board of directors for 3 years, and I'm just a longtime volunteer, and especially an urban forestry volunteer. I just wanted to acknowledge the email that I received back from Karen White. Thank you, Karen. Regarding the fact that OCSD, I guess we'll be working on some sidewalk improvements and other public right-of-way improvements in Oceano. I had not been aware of that before, but thank you for the heads up on that. That certainly could affect where and when EcoSlow would be able to do some tree planting. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks again. And at this point, I'll let Ellie and Grant carry on discussing the grant program.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Ali mentioned, we're here to answer any questions you guys have and talk about kind of potential opportunities for planting trees in Oceano. I see we've got a question from Lucia.
Lucia, you're up.
Yes, I see. As I told the council before, I think that the sidewalk around the playground of the north of the Oceano School used to have trees all around, and I don't think there is going to be any unless Karen. I don't think there's going to be any sidewalk down there. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Water lines, not sidewalks.
Oh, water lines. So the water lines on basically is Paso Robles and the 17th. I counted at least 12 trees that have disappeared, and there are still holes with the grate, with the iron filter still there, and a couple of them are almost dead. So we could replace all of the trees that have died around the playground. I think that would be a great service to the school and to the Oceano. Paso Robles is a main avenue, so it's good to have trees on that side. I think that's the only thing I saw around here.
I have a question. What kind of trees are we talking about? That's my main interest, is what trees are, I know it's not eucalyptus.
Yeah, Ali, do you want to?
Yeah, so due to the grant that we're working with, we do have kind of a unique and limited set of species, and it's about 7 species right now. We're hoping to amend the tree list a bit, but we have had success with some of the species, in particular when working with sidewalk trees, like you were mentioning. I think some of the really popular ones have been the black locust and the island oak. And then we also have on our species list the interior live oak, the valley oak, coast live oak is on our list. Black locust, like I mentioned, the cork oak is on our list. So a lot of the species can be a bit larger, which is why we're ideally hoping to plant in some sort of like park setting where there's a bit more open space, but we have had success with some of the species in sidewalk parkways as well.
Ellie, does the current list include ones that we planted in slow, like Chinese pistache and Chinese elk? Okay.
No, just because they're not really great under this grant.
Yeah, the grant is a little unique. And before Charles gets your question, I want to just say, like, this is an urban forestry grant. So it is kind of, this grant is around post end of life use for the trees. So the idea with this grant is that these trees that will be planted will be turned into lumber eventually, or can be harvested and turned into lumber as a form of carbon sequestration, long-term carbon sequestration. Because when most trees, urban trees, die, they're chipped or burned, which effectively kind of negates any carbon sequestration purposes they did over the course of their life. And so that's kind of the idea here, which is why, as Ali mentioned, we're kind of dealing with a little bit larger trees than the typical urban tree list, which is going to have more ornamental trees, such as Chinese pistache, and why parks or more open, slightly open areas are going to be a little more ideal. But as Ali mentioned previously, also, we have done plantings just in straight up downtown San Luis and managed to make it work out. So it can, there's a variety of options.
Okay, well, I'll go next. So it sounds like I mean, you actually kind of caught me on that one in terms of grant and that the intention is to cut them down eventually. So, I mean, I know all trees have a lifespan, but the notion of planting, let's say, oaks, all along a street that then become a major piece of the whole ecosystem of a neighborhood, and then at some point, I don't know, some lumber business has a contract to come in and take them out, or I mean, I'm not clear here about what.
Yeah,
what
I can answer that. Apologies for I should have clarified a little bit more. So the idea isn't that we'll come in and just like clear cut them in their prime. That's not what's going on. The idea is more creating, the grant's called Full Circle, and it's the idea of kind of a circular life of a tree. So the idea being that the trees will live their full, happy, healthy lives. And it's just the idea being that when they need to eventually be cut down, because they will either pass away, or as we've seen in some places like Slow City, sometimes trees wind up creating issues in terms of just kind of general size, things like that. There's a whole host of reasons a tree might need to be cut down. But the idea here being that if and when the tree does need to be cut down, that it's not going to waste when it's cut down. So it wouldn't be that we'd be coming in and just kind of treating this like a plantation in just the middle of downtown South County, but more that this is a use so that the trees can really see their full potential and not just go into a landfill when their time comes.
To what degree are any of these species, and I'll finish up with this, Karen, and you can go next, known to be well adapted to a coastal, salty air kind of environment? I mean, that like they're going to thrive here in Oceano.
Yeah, that's a great question.
We work with Cal Poly botany professors, as well as the city of San Luis Obispo and the EcoSo staff, to ensure that the trees that we have selected are well suited for the Mediterranean climate zone that we have in this county.
And as far as you mentioned, Charles, around kind of saltiness and stuff like that, and kind of specifically the coastal area, plenty of the trees do quite well in coastal areas. For example, we just planted a bunch of coast live oaks, Monterey cypress, and island oaks out in Los Osos. So we've done some plantings out there. So there definitely are species that do really well in coastal areas. Some, like kind of Ali mentioned, in terms of like valley oak, might not be the most ideal for a coastal area, but they definitely can still do quite well there. But yeah, there definitely are some options that are probably more coast friendly, such as Monterey cypress and coast live oak, than others.
Okay.
And that's kind of part of the picking of the trees. We'll work with folks. We definitely don't want to make sure we don't come in and override and say, this is what we're planting. We definitely like to work with folks.
Right. And then just finally, I mean, I think it would be helpful to us to maybe get a better idea of the kinds of, I mean, given Oceano, the layout of Oceano, what would be the areas that you're looking at that would be really work well? I mean, in terms of where there's county land that they would be willing to have a tree line put in to replace a lost windbreak, or to get a whole bunch of trees planted between the sewage treatment plant and the airport or something for screening, or in the community of Halcyon that has lots of open space, or as opposed to replanting the trees along the sidewalk at the school that Lucia was talking about, which would seem to would include figuring out why all the trees died in the first place before we put a whole bunch of new ones in there, and that all of those issues. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can answer that a little bit. In terms of location, that's definitely something that we want to work with folks on. So, part of it is it's definitely a conversation. It's definitely not after today, we'll know exactly where and things like that. There's definitely a lot of conversation that goes on, depending on how things work. We've had stuff with the city where the city is of SLO, at least, is very kind of like, yeah, plant here, and then we'll just go in and plant there. Or we'll kind of come to them sometimes and be like, well, what about this location or this location? We've actually been talking with the county of SLO a little bit, and they presented a couple opportunities for planting sites that we believe would be on county land. So this would be at the community center, they mentioned. the Boys and Girls Club, and the Sheriff's Substation were all locations that the county, specifically Ann Gillespie from County Planning, reached out with. So we have talked to the county a little bit, and we've got a couple ideas for spots. But that's just from Ann at the county. You know, there's lots of other opportunities as well, and she is certainly not, you know, the final word. So
Okay, great, thank you.
I was just gonna add that in Halcyon, all of our hardwood trees, our oaks, our cypress, our redwood have all gone to the conservation, whatever, I can't think of what they call it, but it's the wood yard in San Luis Obispo where they save all the trees. You know the name of that company?
that'd be Don Seawater's old yard. I think Don Seawater used to run a yard that was like that.
Yeah, I mean.
It's a
they
different
put-
name now.
They put them to 12-foot chunks
Okay.
and
Yeah.
take them out, our cypress and our redwood, and they've made some beautiful stuff out of them. We just
Yeah.
donate them, they remove them. And the pines and all the oak is saved, but for barbecues and every little scrap of oak gets saved. But even the pines and the eucalyptus, they have a home somewhere if we can find it. If not, they're chipped and ground in right there. So halcyon trees are really preserved after their 80 or 90 or 100 years life.
No.
Great to hear.
I was going to say the sheriff's substation is on land that belongs to the Oceana Community Service District. So that
Okay.
was them. And also there's that huge bunch of eucalyptus trees right across from the sheriff's substation. And I would love to figure out a way that those trees could be torn out, because eventually they're going to be a major hazard, and put something like some oaks in there. It's destined for a little parkland if it ever gets that far, but that would be a great little place to put some trees.
Absolutely.
I just had a couple of comments. So one is around this idea of CAL FIRE is funding this because of there's this big buzzword called sustainability, right? And so they're really taking a look at this whole life cycle issue of trees. So as Karen was just saying, a big part of the interest in this is taking trees whenever their useful life has ended, or they're diseased, they're in danger, they're a hazard of falling on some building. They get taken out, and they get CAL FIRE and the city. A lot of urban foresters are very interested in finding out what can be done with this lumber in terms of creating furniture, like a boutique furniture industry, looking at it that way, public art, other types of things that, as opposed to just, as Grant said, chipping or putting them in a landfill. So that's a really big component of this grant, and EcoSlow actually is contracted with a private company locally here called Deadwood Revival Design. And so Deadwood Revival will be taking this lumber and basically milling it and creating, my understanding is creating furniture from it. It will be kind of like high-end finished product. Yeah, so I just wanted to point out that that's kind of baked into this whole thing. Deadwood will also be presenting to elementary schools. There's an educational component, K-12 educational component.
Yeah.
They have a portable sawmill. So they'll be taking some of this, what would otherwise have been waste urban lumber, going around to elementary schools under the grant and promoting this idea of sustainable use of urban lumber. So
Yeah.
those are big parts of that.
Yeah, they've also done high schools, and also they've partnered closely with Cal Poly. So that side of things, yeah, definitely a lot of education aspects of it. And we definitely, have talked to them about the possibility of, hey, what if, school do a lecture and a planting at the same time kind of thing. There's some great opportunities there. But yeah, so that's definitely the other half of it. And the idea being that, Deadwood is collecting logs from all around the county. They're part of their whole companies. The way it operates is they consider themselves kind of like a sort of waste diversion, kind of logs that otherwise would be milled, burned, or just chipped would go straight to them, and they turn into really beautiful furniture. So
yeah, and I think there's an assumption too that whatever, when it does come time to take out some of these trees 20 years hence or 30 years hence, in my mind, there's an assumption that those trees are going to be replaced with new trees. You don't just grow something for whatever the period is and then whack it, and then there's an empty hole again.
Yeah.
The idea is to replant.
Yeah, we hopefully EcoSlow's tree planting program is very well operating 20, 30 years in the future, and we can be the ones to replant it. We'd love to be able to do that. Absolutely.
Councilmember Casanova?
Yes, and how many trees are you thinking about putting in Oceano?
Yeah, that number is totally up in the air and up for discussion. There's no kind of ceiling or floor. We're happy to put as many trees as folks think there's spots for, and yeah, we're totally open with whatever number.
And who will do the, sorry,
Get some feedback.
what's going on?
I think someone's mic's picking you up.
Who will do the work of planting the trees and taking care of them?
Yeah, that's what I was going to add, just a couple other details on the grant. So the trees that we plant are in 15 gallons, so they're pretty well established, and they're about like 5 to 6 feet tall once they're planted, and they're planted by volunteers, and then we typically have volunteers adopt the trees for the first 3 years of their life. So that does kind of limit us on where we can plant. For example, if it's like a super open space, we don't want to have volunteers lugging 5-gallon water jugs out to those trees. So we do like them to be accessible so that volunteers are able to water and care for them. And they're cared for and maintained by EcoSlow and our volunteers for the first 3 years of their life until they're a bit more established.
Thank you.
EcoSlow has a very large volunteer force. So we've had tremendous success with all our planting so far over the past 3 years, I believe it is now.
Yeah.
Brent, Ellie, how
Yeah.
many trees have we planted? Over 200 now in the past 3 years?
Just about 150.
Yeah. 150.
Okay, well, but we do have a dedicated volunteer force. I myself take care of 17 trees in San Luis Obispo, which means every month I'm looking at them, I'm watering them if they need it, I'm pruning them if they need it. So that's a big strength of this organization.
Yeah.
What about on private property? Private property. Somebody wants an oak tree in their front yard.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it just has to be in the front yard, not the backyard.
Mhm.
We basically just need property owner's permission. That's the main thing we look for and we want to get. So even with like renters, we want to make sure the property owner's permission, and we'll happily plant there, things like that. Just, yeah, that's really all we need. As long as we have the okay from the owner of the property, we can plant there.
Okay.
One question. Have you looked at the county park down by the lagoon? I don't know whether any of these trees would survive there because of the water table, but have you looked at that area? It's really looks pretty untreed.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've talked, we're in the process of talking to county parks. County parks has been a little bit trickier. They've got kind of their specific restrictions, and some of them don't really gel with what we're looking for. Part of it's around tree size. They kind of require box trees. We have to plant 15 gallons due to the nature of the grant and our agreement with CAL FIRE. So that's kind of created some difficulties there, but also I would just need to look and see where the location exactly is in relation to urban area. So one of the things about this grant is that we do have to plant within a half mile of an urban area. So it is, okay, yeah, if it's in an urban area, then that could totally work. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I would just need to look at it on the map, but yeah, we've talked with county parks. I'm not sure it's an ideal fit for what they're looking for at the moment, but Public Works is we've had better success with so far, but we're hoping to make something work with county parks, and this could very well be a great opportunity to make that happen.
Yeah. I don't know whether any of these trees could survive in that area, but
I'm not sure either.
yeah, pretty coastal.
So-
Willows grow good.
So how would this work? So you take suggestions from the council. Now you wrote to us because you would like suggestions on where to plant trees in Oceano. So eventually the council will make a list of places and will send it to you, right?
That sounds great.
And what's the deadline?
So the deadline we have for the grant is we have to plant these trees by the end of 2024. So it's yeah, somewhere in 2024. I'm not sure the exact date. But as long as we get them done by 2024, basically, that's good. So that's the main thing.
Also,
I think gives us time.
I
Trees
will
and-
add to that that the planting season is kind of limited to the rainy season. So we have a few more months left while it's still a bit cooler. But other than that, we can always postpone it to the next planting season if it doesn't quite work out in time for this year. But yeah, like Grant said, we still have a few more years to plant these trees.
so, so the end of 24, it's the deadline for you to have the trees in the ground.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Right, but for us to make the suggestion, when would you like to have it?
Oh, that's going to depend on when you guys are interested in having the trees planted. So we're happy to move on that as slowly, quickly, whatever pace you guys works for you guys. I wouldn't say there is a strong deadline on our end. As Ali mentioned, really the main deadline is going to be planting season wise, at least knowing that if we get the list from you folks saying around end of April, probably won't get those in the ground till like November, December. So we don't usually plant between May and October. That's pretty rough season to plant in. So
Okay.
just kind of keeping that in mind, we usually like to know from folks about locations and come to an agreement about a month or so out from the planting date, because we do need time to order the trees and have them delivered. And we usually budget about a month for that.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that, I mean, I'm kind of caught up on the private property owner that wants an oak tree in their front yard. I mean, it's easy enough for us to outreach, or at least get it up on our website, get it up on Facebook, have Oceano Community Services District maybe publicizing and the message to the residents are, hey, would you like to have a, you know, good size oak tree planted in your front yard that you're willing to then take care of? And would that open up the window for the time that you can plant? If you know the tree is going to be, you can plant it in June and it's going to get maintained. But that's maybe, we don't have to get out in the weeds of that. But so that's a way we could solicit potential clients for you. One way we could solicit.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that these trees are low water use trees. There may be concerns about watering. Oaks don't require that much water,
Right. Mm-hmm.
particularly the natives that do. I mean, Coast Live Oak, that's native to Oceano. Island Oak is native to Santa Cruz Island, but it also does well in coastal environments.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
did you contact the CMR school district? Because I know that schools have trees on their campus, you know, at the playground, you know, between one building and the other. And or would you like us to contact the CMR?
Yeah, I'm not certain if we've talked to CMR specifically. I know we did a lot of outreach initially. I should say that our kind of expansion to the county has been more recent. Really in the last, I would say 8 months or so, 6 to 8 months, we've started to expand more throughout the county. Previous to that, we were really trying to mostly focus on Slow City. And in that time, I know we did talk to school districts and we definitely ran into some issues around kind of groundskeeping and workload and expectations. And to be fair, though, to the school districts, there was a lot going on in spring of 2021. And it was not the ideal time, I think, to be reaching out to them. So we'll definitely probably be trying to reach out to them again. And we would love to plant at schools because, you know, we think, yeah, there's, like you were saying, Joe, there's a lot of really great places to plant, lots of fields and things like that. And I know as a kid going to school, I loved having a tree to sit under and stuff like that. So yeah, I would love to plant at schools. It's been more a matter of trying to figure out something that works with their maintenance schedule and their tree lists and what they have and things like that.
So excuse me, sir. You speak very fast from me, and I have the hearing.
No worries. Apologies.
So did you, for example, did you talk to the Oceano School or to the Fairgrove School, to their principals, and see if they want trees, or you would like us to do that?
Yeah. I know, Ali, you've been talking with the school in Napomo.
Yeah, we're planning on planting trees at the Napomo New Tech School, but to answer your question, no, we haven't outreached to any of those schools yet.
So, okay, so maybe we can do that as council, talk to Oceano School and Fairgrove.
We'd love that.
Awesome, yeah.
Karen, what about the project that OCSD has going on with the water recharge project?
Yeah, I was gonna say
by the
that,
schools, and aren't they gonna
that's-
be,
that's right at the school. where
and are
the-
they planting native plants there? Are there trees involved in that project?
I don't know that there are any trees involved. I don't know how you do an underground drainage water conservation system with trees on top of it. Because trees have roots and roots block drainage systems pretty good. But I could certainly find out. I'll take the whole tree thing to our manager.
Okay, because
Yeah.
these are
Or
basically, they're
Aileen,
developing,
we both can.
bioswales
Yeah.
to capture road runoff and infiltrate it into planting areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll bring that up with Will
Yeah,
Cummins. Okay, so that could be another possible connection. We can let you know about that. Who's the contact? Ally?
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe that you have myself, Chris, and Grant CC'd on our
Okay,
last email.
all right, okay.
It's
Any-
just Ali at
any of you?
Info.
All
Yeah,
right,
I think that Ally is, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but the main contact.
Yeah.
okay. Well, be careful what you ask for. I hope we can help you out.
Any more questions?
Guys, maybe we should, perhaps we should have thought of this before, but maybe we need to email the group here, just a little documentation on Full Circle on the grant itself.
We can do
I
that.
can read a little bit more about it.
Yeah, we've got plenty of material. We're happy to provide you guys with anything you need.
Yeah, and the list of trees that are available. That'll be
Absolutely.
good to have too.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That would be great to listen if you have pictures, because I love trees, but I don't know the specific trees, what they look like and stuff. That would be nice if you could have.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Okay.
in Halcyon, there is room for trees, but we're kind of doing our own tree planting. And one of the things we're doing is propagating our trees that we have that have survived for so long, and we're trying to raise our own babies and replant. And we think it can be successful. We've got some really unique trees in the village of Halcyon, if you've ever walked through there. Strawberry trees and locusts, and right now the acacia's in full bloom, so bring a handkerchief. Anyway, thank you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for letting us present to you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Very
much.
grateful.
Thank you
you.
for coming.
Okay,
Yes.
alrighty. Thank you for
Good luck.
coming.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for coming. Sounds like a very awesome project, especially 3 years of maintenance. I like
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Look
Wonderful.
forward to talking more with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
All right. That was a nice presentation. All three of them seem to be gone now, and I don't see anyone of the referrals. I called all of them. I didn't get a call back from the guardian in chief of the Temple of the People, but I heard that she had an injury and a severe injury, so that's probably why she never got a hold of us.
She
Councilmember
called
Casanova.
me. She called me. So I'm representing him.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Lucia, Councilmember Casanova.
Yeah, okay, just say Lucia easier. Well, are we done? I was thinking, what are we going to do? I mean, I would love to see trees in Oceano. And so I really would like to follow through with this. So I think that we should prepare a reach out flyer for us to post on our social medias, to distribute in the community, and something like, trees available, and to give property owner, just explain a couple of paragraphs. Yeah, just a flyer that we can use. Maybe other people have better ideas of where trees are needed. So I'm thinking of what, I would like to follow through with this.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. But like, I think maybe you should wait for the email with all the trees, the names of the trees and stuff, so people can look them up online on their phone to see what trees they would like and stuff.
Correct.
They'll
That-
send us a very explicit email.
That's good.
Um,
Yes.
I
ahead.
would hate to see a lot of people grabbing trees that are not gonna work out. Because some of these trees get, like the Valley Oaks, they're gonna get really big.
Mm,
And we need to be able to guide people as to, it's not a matter of what tree they want in their front yard so much as what tree will prosper and not become a challenge in their front yard.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
will put that on the flyer too. Absolutely. It's going to be an educational flyer, can be said in a couple of sentences. Make sure the tree fits, the tree is well taken care of and stuff. Yeah, let's wait for the list to come. Yes, and more information.
Yeah.
because I'm sure the list will have characteristics of the tree and stuff.
Right, and those issues that we're talking about, I think, is really between the property owner and EcoSlow to work out. I mean, that the tree's not gonna be planted on top of their sewage line,
Right,
or
right.
stuff like that, right? Mhm.
Yeah, the people who will plant will go and visit, probably, will go and visit the place, probably, right?
Right, I think we're really the facilitators here. We're connecting the community to
Right.
EcoSlow, and then that's,
Right.
it's
So-
their business to work it out.
Our job is to do some propaganda and to also come up with a list that we think as a council would be good.
Mhm. Yeah, and we'll do that once we have all that information,
Okay.
more informed decision. Thank you, Asha, for taking the lead when we get the email. So it looks like because of that Karen is gonna represent the guardian in chief since she's injured. So we'll start the discussion. Karen, go ahead, take it away.
Well, it's just that a company has contacted the Temple of the People and wants to put a cell tower at the very corner of Halcyon's property off Elm Street. And I think the cross is either Avocado Ranch or it's right up at that area, up in the tippy top piece of property that Halcyon owns off Elm Street. So it'll be right at Elm and that crossroads at the top of, there's a crossroads one way and the other way. I think it's Avocado Ranch. And the idea is that it will generate needed money for the Temple of the People. And it'll make several $1,000s a month and it'll be renting the property, and it'll be a 65-foot eucalyptus tree. Well, it's supposed to look like a eucalyptus tree. It's a cell tower. And then it'll have some small house at the base, and it'll be surrounded by a large fence. And it'll serve Oceano, Grover, and into Pismo, that area.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I know about it. And I can't remember the name of the company. I read it and then I didn't write it down.
So-
AT&T
But they're
mobile-
basically we're renting a parcel of land permanently for a cell tower.
Okay, and it's gonna be on Elm and Avocado. I'm not sure where that is. It's not by 7-Eleven, right?
No, it's clear up at the top of the hill. It's the furthest tippy top place. As you go up the hill toward Oceana, go south on the hill. Just as you get to, there's a little driveway and there's the new housing development on the other side there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a little corner of land. There's a house near it. And
Oh,
then
okay.
Ruta's farm field is below it. Yeah.
excuse me, Karen, so it's gonna be at the corner of Elm and Grell Lane?
Avocado.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be grill. Yeah.
No, there is not Avocado, I mean,
Grail.
it's Grell Lane. So you know what I mean, right? It's at the very end of the farm. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But isn't there a piece of, there is a house up on that corner?
there's a house not in the corner. The house is in from the corner. The house is not owned by Halcyon, but the land on both sides of it is. It's surrounded by Halcyon land.
Oh, okay, so this tower will be right on Elm. There is
Yes,
no-
right at the corner there. Yeah.
Yes, I see here, yes, and it must be, yes, I see. Yeah, it's gray land and there is,
I don't think, that's not Grill Lane. It's.
no, that's not gray
Not
land.
Grill.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
North.
north of Grill Lane. It's the driveway that goes into Gavin Arthur's house, but that doesn't help me any.
but there is Paso Robles, and I'm looking at the map. Paso Robles becomes Gray Lane, right?
Yeah, but it's toward the 7-Eleven over the other side of the hill.
Oh, on the other corner.
Yeah.
No, it's not on the other corner. It's just over the top of the hill.
Oh, okay, got it. And are those gonna be fake trees, fake eucalyptus trees, Karen?
Yeah.
One fake eucalyptus tree.
So is this a 5G network?
I don't know.
Because those are very controversial in terms of their impacts on people. And I wonder what kind of notification is to the property owners.
I
of
don't
this
know.
Proposed project.
I am assuming the county, because it's come through the county, that the county is going to be doing that. I don't know. I got
Yeah,
this
okay,
dropped on me
well,
real
so-
quick.
I think the first thing is that all property owners within, a certain distance of that thing, whatever the range of the alleged toxic consequences are, need to be notified. I don't think anybody on Grill Lane has been notified of it.
Isn't it 1,000 yards or something?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on what the project is. This is a new one, and I don't even, I don't know what the consequences of this stuff are, but I know there's plenty of people living on Grill Lane that would, once they find out about it, are gonna want a lot more information.
No, so Charles, there's a lot of like, what is it, detrimental? Is it privacy or is it more like hazardous
It's,
energy?
it's the electrical waves
Both
that
the
come
waves,
out of
that's
it in the
hazardous.
5G network.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I didn't think it was privacy. I thought more like a environmental pollution or whatever you want to, it's termed. Okay. Okay,
And
well,
I have another question. So how big will be the parcel on which the tower is?
So this is all in the documents that we received.
That I
Yeah, I'm
couldn't find.
sorry.
So.
I'm trying to
It's-
find the
It's not
document.
it's not very large.
I'm trying to find the document and I'm sorry. Be patient, please. I
Well, I
mean,
don't have it either. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
Would you
And-
like me to screen share the document?
please, Charles.
Okay, well, let me see if I can do it.
Yes. Because I mean, I just can't find it.
Okay, let me see here. What's it called? The project? It's
I
WinCon project, right?
no, it's a temple. Well, I sent it out today to everybody and I named it Temple of the People Project.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Let's go and see.
And I didn't get it.
Sorry, you
But-
gotta scroll through all my mail here, but
No, or it might be under, like if you put in your search, put AT&T mobile
um,
on your search and then it should come out. I think it's under AT&T.
Oh, that was the one I couldn't open today. Yeah.
okay, so here we go.
Temple of the People. Okay, I got it. Okay. But yeah, it's just if you go to Temple of the People, it will come up.
Mhm. So here's the project, a new AT&T wireless facility, a cell site consisting of a 60-foot, 5-foot high antenna disguised as a eucalyptus tree and a 24 by 30-foot fence lease area enclosure with ground equipment cabinets and a standby generator. It's interesting that this parcel history has a patio cover and an outdoor kitchen on it.
Huh?
Yeah, this parcel number looks like it at some point it was in 2014. Had a patio, had a permit for
Isn't that
Actually-
that's a different plan, isn't it?
it's the same parcel, so it's kind of confusing. It looks like this is a then there was in 2005 there was a produce stand approved. In 2002 a vehicle storage
Oh,
thing.
oh, it's part of one parcel. It's
Mhm,
about 32 acres, part of one parcel. So it includes all of Ruta's farms.
mhm.
It's in the same
Okay.
parcel. It's the Ruta's farm parcel.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That was the
So
stuff
this is
down.
within that parcel.
Yeah. It's a
Got it.
massive, it's a big, massive parcel.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, there it is.
there it is.
There's the
Where is
parcel.
that?
Here's the project right here, I think,
Yeah, and you can see the cemetery is right at the corner down there. It's clear up the street from the
right
cemetery.
up here. Can
Yeah.
you see my
Oh, so-
cursor?
So would you zoom in?
Parcel.
So that's no grill. So it's in front of a house. I see.
Yeah. There is one house there.
I wanted to ask, how much money so it would be good money maker for housing for the temple.
Yes,
They will get rent money for every month.
correct.
And what do you mean it's going to be permanent? I mean, that means that for eternity, that's what's going to be. You said there was a permanent rent agreement.
Yeah, I mean, they'll rent it as long as they want to rent it, I guess.
Okay.
You know, or it's, I was told it was permanent, like 10 years or whatever.
And,
Okay.
and so can you see what I have up on the screen now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the existing view up here on the right. And here's what the new view will be. This is the cell tower right here, this tree. Here's another view. The existing view here, you see there's nothing there. And here it is on the left. Here's the cell tower.
Wow. But what about all the cabinets and what is that going to be? That's going to be around the trunk of this fake tree?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
what?
Well, there is not only the tower, there is going to be equipment around there.
Correct,
And that's going to be right around the trunk.
correct.
All
30 by
fenced in.
40 feet. Maybe landscaped around it, so it's that stuff is blocked by view, which would certainly seem to be a reasonable condition of the permit.
Yes, it should be landscaped. Yes. Well, yeah, I don't see why not. The temple needs money, and but unless residents will have problems, but it needs to be, yeah, like Charles said. Thank you.
I'm taking notes.
So AT&T, so they're not going to help me with my Verizon.
Sorry. They'll help me with my AT&T, which is pretty
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah, it seems like a decent project because it's, camouflaging as a tree. It's not ugly. It's a moneymaker for Halcyon. The only thing that I would put in the comments is that please notify everyone that lives in the surrounding area because there might be some hazard that they need to look into.
Mhm.
Or just please notify everyone in the surrounding area of this tower. That's all that's my only concern, that they should, I'm sure they do that. That's sort of probably their protocol, but
Well, they're not gonna, I mean, AT&T's not, is going to want to try and keep this as quiet as possible because they know that there will be controversy, and the science is not well established on this. So
Yeah.
it is a situation that is very susceptible to people with that may not be that interested in facts, but are based on fear. And there's rumors about the 5G vibrations causing brain cancer and all kinds of stuff like that. So it can really go into the weeds easily.
so
But,
yeah.
I mean, that's the risk, but people have a
Need
right
to-
to know.
Yeah, so we'll just write in the comments, everyone around there, the surrounding areas should be noticed.
Yeah,
That's all we can do, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's the right thing to do. But besides that, I love it because it's not ugly. It's helping out Halcyon. And what does it do? It helps us get better service on our phones. I don't know. Or AT&T customers or what?
I hope.
Okay, so Verizon versus AT&T customers. I can see the fight now. Verizon, AT&T.
Done with AT&T.
AT&T.
Sick and tired of AT&T.
I have to have AT&T for my hard line.
But anyway, yeah. Well, thank you, Charles, for putting that on the screen.
Okay,
Thank you,
I
Charles.
didn't look. Thank you. Thank
Sorry,
you.
Well, that's how it helps.
Sorry,
Okay,
I was
I'll stop
so
sharing
prepared.
now. Unless, do you want to, can I stop sharing, or do you want to, anybody
Yes.
want to look at this anymore?
Yeah.
This is a good picture. This is page 21 of 50.
Yes,
Yeah, for people to see
yes,
what. it
I
looks like.
found it. It's very good.
Okay, already.
Sorry, I was so ill prepared.
That's okay. Not to worry.
All right. So, I don't understand what do we do? Sorry, this is, when we discuss a referral, then are you, Alina, sending our comments to the county?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and I CC you so that you could see that I
Yeah,
sent
okay, great.
our things, and like I said,
Yeah, okay, good.
I'll put nice good project camouflages, only,
Yeah.
Notice people in the surrounding area, and that's it. And
Yeah.
thank you, Karen, for substituting on a very short notice.
Yeah,
Dang.
make sure landscaping around the fencing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I walk over there all the time.
Also could put corn or something around it.
Yeah, hide it, right?
Brutus can farm it, maybe. It's too far up the hill for him to farm. It's kind of too costly to push water that far.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good solution for housing. I'm happy for housing.
And it's kind of high. Yeah, I see that.
No,
Okay.
Jerry, you'd have to label it possibly irradiated with 5G microwaves. Eat at your own risk.
Pre-cooked.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So
Thank
we
you.
don't
Thank you.
have anyone else here for the other referrals. I had one of the King Kong, or however you pronounce it, King Kong project. He said he overlooked that he had a conflicting meeting he couldn't get out of, so that he would try to, but he didn't look like he was going to be able to get out of that meeting. So, and Fisher, the Fisher project man, Michael, he never confirmed. I spoke to him, but he never confirmed that he would attend. So,
Okay. So which one are we looking at next?
so next on our agenda, we have old business. We have, I don't know if we have any updates on the curb gutters and sidewalks.
Oh, no, excuse me, Chair. We're not going to look at the Fisher project, the other referral?
No. Well, he's not here, and I don't know if you did. No,
We
it's
can
just a bit.
still, that QuinCon project, I would like to see that go forward. That's on 17th Street where all the
Yeah.
homeless are living right now.
I would love to see it. Oh, he said
And
that.
it's it's just a plain 4 apartment unit building.
Uh-huh.
I
Right,
saw the plans.
And it needs a
Yeah.
zoning variance, right?
Yeah, it needs a
Commercial
zoning
to
variance.
Mixed, right.
It's being downzoned in a sense. Because it's
Yeah.
going into
Right.
He said
it's not a mixed use.
he was looking forward to attend, but that he had that conflicting meeting he overlooked. So he'll do his best to attend at our next monthly meeting.
I just wonder if we wanted to go ahead and support that.
I'd move to support that project.
I'd second it.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion first.
Oh,
No, no,
discussion, go ahead.
Mama, you know what? You're going so fast. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm lost now. So I was looking at the future. I asked about the future, and then now you're talking about a completely different. So you're talking about the downtown apartment building. So we are discussing that now?
yes,
Okay.
because Karen wanted to discuss it even though the applicant is not here.
Okay. So I have, and I favor the project 100%. I just want to know, I'm sorry. So I just favor the project myself, yes.
Okay, call for the question.
I'm done.
Okay,
we have to vote.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we want any comments? Any further comments?
Well, if you spell me the name again, I want to look at it a minute. What is that called? Queen Kwong?
Quincon. 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 Quincon.
QueenCon. Okay, instead of Rincon, QueenCon. Okay, I got it. I got it.
I think that we should notify them that EcoSlow has free trees available if they're.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a
No,
really
that's,
good idea.
yeah, that's an excellent idea. That way you can keep people out of that area. Well, I'm sure him just building there would keep them. I hope.
know? So it's going to be an apartment building,
Yes, 4 apartments.
4 apartments with a commercial space underneath.
No,
Oh. Mhm.
It's commercial, it's residential / commercial, right? So they can have commercial there, is that?
They have to downzone it.
Okay,
That's
uh,
why it's coming forward, is on the zone change, I believe.
okay, so what are we waiting on?
Just
I was-
any other comments on it that you want me to write on there? Just we're in favor of this
Yeah, let's
project,
just- Yeah,
wanted to go forward, okay.
yeah.
I'd like to just quickly back up without getting into it, but on the cell phone tower,
Sure.
that piece of land up there is relatively vacant. Why not? What about the idea of planting a oak forest around that cell tower on the vacant land? And using either halcyon oak trees or oak trees from EcoSlow. I mean, have some island oaks. I don't know, and
That's great.
kind of revegetate that hillside into a oak woodland.
Yes.
Which is what it originally was. No,
Right.
actually, it was
right,
apricots. No, it was apricots.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
before
you were-
1900, before 1895, it was oaks and then it was apricots. Yeah,
Oh.
but yes.
Huh.
Excellent.
would-
idea.
I mean, yes, I put notes and I will see if we can make it happen.
Okay,
Oh,
Great.
yeah, that
Thank
would be
you.
nice. That would be
Good
nice.
idea.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Great idea.
yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we're on to old business. Do we have any update on the curbs, gutters and sidewalks?
There's really nothing new from last week. The survey's going out at Oceano Elementary School this week. We'll get results. I sent out I've drafted up ideas for an additional survey to do on the streets in Oceano that don't have curb gutters and sidewalks. This would be a drop-off informational flyer to folks living there that we're looking to get a grant to put in sidewalks, sidewalk infrastructure in Oceano, and getting their attitudes and opinions about that as well. And I'll, as soon as that, I can send that around for your folks if you want to have any input into it or see where I'm at. I just finished it up today and sent it off to the team that's working on writing the grant. That's all I have for curb gutters and sidewalks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Then next we have updates and action items.
I've got something on the website, which I sent you all this afternoon. Holly, who I've been working with on the with the San Luis Obispo Citizens for Good Government and the lawsuit against gerrymandering. She's on that team, so I've worked with her some. She's available to work with us on, updating the website, doing, if we want to get like some fancy banner up on the homepage about, hey, about the whole tree program or stuff like that. And she works at $40 an hour.
So she would be willing to update our website.
Excuse me, when you mean update, you mean to do the changes that we want to do, like change the date, upload the trees information. That's what you mean. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking more. Now, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know what your capacity is to do those kind of minor things. I'm thinking about more creating a whole new banner on the homepage, a temporary banner, the Oceano tree planting program, or creating a new page.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Was update because the terms update for a website also means to do downloads. They need to do. We had somebody who updated the OBCA extensions. So when you mean update, you mean no, I have no capacity, and I'm very happy to go with your suggestion. Absolutely. So a person that will do what the changes that we want.
Okay, well, so yeah. So last week you said you were I sent you the information and you went in and looked at it, and your conclusion is that that's not something that you want to have be involved with.
I contacted the person. I was never going to do it by myself. The person who created the Safe Beach Now website, Damien promised that he can help me. He doesn't want to be paid, but the way I had envisioned with him was that one thing, for example, the first thing was to change the date of the meeting. So he and I were going to meet, and he was going to show me, and he was going to change the date. So I learned how to do it. Then the next time we needed another update or another change, I was going to meet him again, and we were going to do that. So I was going to learn. But I'm very happy to just step back and hire the person for $40 an hour and have an expert. I have a problem.
What about this guy that you're working with? Can we hire him? But cheaper.
No, Damien is very busy, and he would do it out of friendship and love, because Linda was a part of our group. But no, Henny works full time, and he's got the money and doesn't need to. No.
Okay.
So I'll go with your proposal. Fine. Much more secure.
Yeah,
$40 an hour sounds very reasonable. So we just tell her what to do. She does it, and she just tells us how much she wants.
And we would need a single person contact.
Sure. What? It seemed like you already had that contact, right?
Yeah, but I don't, I would prefer somebody else be the contact, but I mean, we have to obviously agree among ourselves on changes that are gonna go on the website. I mean, other than like, yeah, please update the meeting times or stuff that's like,
Yeah.
but yeah. Other
yeah,
than
we
that,
start with the changes that we already had stated in the past that we need to do, like say we wanted to change the meeting time, right, to 6:30.
mhm.
Yeah,
I
we
think
need
we
to
all
do
agreed
that
with that. And
quickly.
then, yes, meeting date and certain, what else did we say? There's certain things that weren't updated because we didn't know how to go about doing it. And sections, I believe that Charles, that the questionnaire for someone coming into the council, the questions you came up with, that has not been put in there because I don't know how to do that. It's there on our Google Docs.
Okay,
So that needs to be done, right? And
okay.
What questionnaire are you talking about, Alina?
the short
New members.
questionnaire that Charles came up with in the past when someone
Membership.
wants to come in, membership.
Got it. Yes. So that
Yeah,
would
then
be put
I
in.
believe there was a couple of other things. So if you guys, we could do an email, start an email like these are the things we had agreed on, and then state what needs to be changed. And then the new stuff we could add on to that, right?
Sounds good.
So are
Okay.
we all in favor? Should we vote for this
Yeah,
new
we
person?
should vote for it since we're gonna
I make a
hire
motion,
somebody.
we proceed to hire a computer
Website,
specialist,
website.
a website specialist to aid us in keeping our website current.
Yes.
Is that okay?
I second it. Excellent. Let's
Okay.
name it. Let's name the person in your motion. Right?
Ollie,
Ollie.
Holly.
Holly has a last name,
Okay.
first name.
first name.
Okay. I
is
second
the-
it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What did you say the last name was, Charles?
I don't remember. I think it's West, but
Okay, I'm not gonna put it on if it's not, because I don't want it to be wrong. Okay. So are we done with this discussion? I think we are.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to. Thank you, Charles, for doing this. You reached out to her.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the treasure report. I attached the treasure report and also Lucia sent it around. Is everyone
Got it.
agree with it? And would you just like to read it? Lucia?
Yeah.
So basically, we had a big donation of
Thank you,
$800. I know you want me to say who donated.
I don't know if the person wants or not.
You want me to say the name?
I don't.
Yes, you can say the name.
Charles Varney. Thank you very much, Charles, for donating $800 to the OACA. This is very generous, very thoughtful, and it's very much appreciated, truly.
Well, I just want people to be clear that this is a donation that I did. I did a donation campaign on Facebook in celebration of my birthday.
That's
So
wonderful.
my friends made donations to the fund to support Oceano Advisory Council as a birthday present to me. And I was surprised at how much money came in. It was actually 795, but tossed in $5 myself to make it a nice 800.
Ah,
And it was a easy way. I mean, actually, very simple way to raise money for us. So
What a neat thing. Yeah.
great, great thing.
what's our balance now? I couldn't get either of those documents to open for me. They just kept spinning and spinning and spinning and
I'm
spinning.
sorry, I mailed it.
I know, I got it. I mean, it wouldn't open for me.
Yeah, it's sometimes because of
I made a mistake to share it rather than send it as a PDF. So I tried to make up for it. The balance now is $2,293.26.
Okay. That's-
Yeah.
Alina, did you go
Okay.
check? Alina, did you go and get that register mail we had in the mailbox?
She said that it was sent back, so that they'll probably send it again.
Huh.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
if it's important, they'll send it again.
okay, exactly.
All righty, and then we have the OBCA report.
Well, the OBC report, can we have a cleanup Saturday? And you have received what I sent you about the OBCA joining a group of local environmentalists to support the Coastal Commission. The Irvine University is representing us. We are 6 groups. Surf Riders, Sierra Club, the Chumash, the Biological Center for Diversity, and we just filed a motion to intervene in the trial in support of the CC because we have some interest at stake in this trial. We all do, not only the OBCA. The other sides already announced that they will oppose it, and already asked for a postponement of the hearing, which we granted generously and nicely. So that's all. That's the latest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. And yeah, our cleanup is this Saturday at 10 o'clock downtown Oceano. You can join us
Where's the meeting place?
at the Catholic Church of St. Francis, right in front of the Tapatia.
All
Where
right.
the new plaza gonna be? Where the new plaza is gonna be?
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, did you do you have comments on that document that Aline and I sent around on the plaza suggestions?
Yeah, Charles had put his oh, do we all have comments? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said, did you receive it? Did you read it? Is that okay?
Who are you talking to?
All of you.
Yeah, I read it. I
Good,
didn't add anything, but I read it. Yeah,
good. Okay, great.
yeah.
So that's where we're meeting, our new plaza.
So that's going to be sent on. Eileen, you already sent that on to Caltrans, right? You
Oh,
already sent-
yeah, I thought you were talking about the cleanup.
you-
Yes.
Sorry,
that's
talking about the.
sent to Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sent to her. Everyone was CC'd on it, so you should be able to.
Right. That's what I
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I thought you meant our cleanup. Our cleanup is on social media set. It's already on there. Okay. So next on our agenda, next is my report. We haven't met yet. So the only thing I can say is if you haven't gotten your map in and you want to, make sure you go on to the Oceano Community Service District website. Way up on top, there's like an alert, and it says you click on that and it'll take you to the map section. You could do it on paper or you could do it online. And if you're a little confused, you want to do it online, you can listen to the OCSD meeting, and there's a workshop where he goes step by step on how to draw the map. So that's it for my report. And it's just like repeating the report from last time. but I think that getting it a map, if you want to do a map, getting it in on time is important. Then discussion, next we have discussion for items, future notices, items that we want to put on the agenda in the future, correspondence.
I'd like to continue, well, it's not a new item, but I'd like to have the Eco-Slow Tree Project continued under old business so that we,
Yes.
for the next couple of weeks at least, so we're just kind of following up on that, and
Yes,
whoever's checking in with the schools and things like that.
yes,
So that it's there, so it reminds us, okay.
yes.
Yeah. And then once, as you said, Aline, once we get the information from them, then I think we ought to think about putting together something for our website and then
Yeah.
something for our Facebook page too. And I think especially outreaching to the property owners in Oceano, that that they could have a nice oak tree in their front yard if it was appropriate.
Yeah, kind of a press release and an announcement
Mhm.
that we can use for flyers for website.
Okay. All righty, next we're at the end of our agenda. Wow, we finished before time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We can.
We're
Okay,
gonna have someone,
move
we're
to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye, nice meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice weekend,
Everyone was patient, nice and polite. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we need to keep recruiting new members.
Yes, we
Bye-bye,
need,
everybody.
we
Bye.
need people. We need people.